Well, peace, light, and love, everyone. Welcome back to the weekly Inspirational podcast, the ISR show. Yay! My name is Tarina Butler, and I am the Soul Creative ISR, I Serve Realness, and I was actually brought to this podcast by the creator of @Blessed Broadcast. So, I am here to go ahead and give you a weekly inspirational tune-up, shall I say. To start off, a little bit about me. I am a queen who acknowledges the queen within herself. I am a free and spirited person. I believe that one of my divine purposes here in the physical is to enhance the lives of people that I come in contact with. And I believe doing that is by serving realness, being authentic, being truthful, being empowering and encouraging to others, and, expecting or encouraging others to love on themselves in such a way it fosters them to show love onto other people, and it builds a guide on how you interact and evolve and love and talk and work with other people. All that other good stuff. So if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and head on over to the YouTube channel and search the I Serve Realness show. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, and subscribe, of course. And at the end of this video, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do the creator of the whole entire @Blessed Broadcast a favor by just leaving a little commentary on what the show did for you. If anything that you would suggest in terms of improvement, how the app works for you, because it's not just myself. There are so many other beautiful, motivating speakers and teachers and intellects in their churches on the app, and there's a little bit of something that uplift you and build your mood for everyone on there. So if you can just leave that good commentary, honest feedback on the app, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so tonight I'd like to talk about a few things. One would be, the first topic would be healing people and healing words and what we speak over our lives and what we speak into each other's lives. So I typically hold a weekly inspirational call, and it's about 7 minutes long every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. I'll put the information for that below as well. But this past week, I spoke briefly on what we can do and how we can heal people with our words. Sometimes we see people or see something that someone does and we think, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Oh wow, I wish I could do that. Oh wow, that's like, if I could only just aspire to be something like that. I don't know, whatever the compliment, we think are compliments, and we feel like, if they already know it, then we shouldn't have to tell them. Well, I feel like it's been put on my heart to tell you that it's important to go ahead and speak those words into other people's lives. Just because, you feel like someone may know it, you never know what they may need or what they may be going through mentally or emotionally, and really do need to hear it. So I encourage you to always speak your truth, and in terms of complimenting other people, say it with a smile, be genuine, be heartfelt, and let them know that it's what you're thinking. You find someone attractive, it doesn't mean that you want to get into bed with them or that you're trying to take them out or whatever have you. Just may simply find them attractive. It wouldn't be so bad to hurt, or it wouldn't hurt to say, I find you very attractive. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're really handsome. I really like the way you put together your clothing. It's no harm in that. Now, how they take it or how someone else may take it is completely up to them. But if your intent is pure and you have no ill will behind it, I think that it's important that for you to, number one, get that off of your chest and take it from your mind and to put it into action. And two, for them, so that they are affirmed by it. Just telling someone how beautiful they are, even though you may tell them every day or whatever the case may be, it's important that you continue to tell them because it affirms them. And, you want that to come back. You not saying that you want someone to tell you that you're beautiful, but I mean, come on, a compliment always feels good if it's given in the right way and, no ill will behind it. It always feels good. Let's just be honest. Leading into, it's nice to give surface compliments. I think that when you talk in terms of attraction and physical being, that those are surface compliments. And those are very important as well. But I'd like to see if we could delve into paying below the surface compliments. complimenting someone on their intellect, complimenting someone on their knowledge, complimenting someone on their soul, their spirit, encouraging someone. Hey, I see you over there. I see you every day. You getting your mile a day on. I see that, I don't know if you know it, or if you're starting to fill out a little bit, or if don't worry, if you don't see the change immediately, it's coming. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you. I thank you because you're a motivation for me. I told someone about 2 or 3 weeks ago that, I felt like they were so beautiful, surface compliment. And the reason why I found that they were beautiful was because of their soul and their spirit, and because they had so much knowledge about a specific industry. And I said to them that I felt like I aspired to be like that, that knowledgeable and that articulate, where I can put into words my knowledge of what I read or research. Below the surface compliment. And when I said it to her, she was just like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. I had no idea that she was going through whatever she was going through until recently. She confided in me that, she had lost her mother about 4 months ago. And so she was really just going through, she really haven't felt like she grieved properly yet, or she really just let loose out. She's been holding and containing it all in. And that after I gave her my compliment, she went to the back and she just started crying, because that was something that her mother used to tell her. And so it did wonders for her, and she thanked me for giving her that compliment. And I was just speaking my mind and getting off my chest and wanting to pay a compliment and wanting to inspire and wanting to encourage someone. And so that's all that was. But I say all this to say, look what it did for her. She's been holding and containing something in for so long because she felt like she didn't know how to properly grieve. And then with just a hear from someone, a compliment from someone, it led to her breakdown, to her emotional release, which is a more positive way of saying it. So I think that it's very important that we speak our minds, and that we encourage people, and that we love on people, and that we affirm people, because it does come back to us in different shapes, sizes, and forms. In different ways it comes back to us. And whether you would like to openly admit it or not, I've been guilty of being one of those people who say, I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. I don't need anyone. I got me, God, and myself. I ain't got to worry about nothing. I don't need to know what you say. I don't need to know what you say. I don't care what you say. You don't have to tell me I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. Oh, you don't have to tell me I'm smart. I know I'm smart. My degrees say that I'm smart. I've got this job and I'm doing it well, and I've been promoted X, Y, and Z. I don't need you to tell me that I'm okay. Very good, right? No. Did greatness from my ego, but it wasn't true. Because when I got into a job where I wasn't appreciated, where I wasn't affirmed, where I wasn't, told how good of a job I was doing, and the appreciation went from that to expectation, and, the lack of appreciation and all that other good stuff, I was miserable. And I couldn't quite figure it out, what was going on, There weren't the I appreciate you for staying late. There wasn't the I appreciate you for going above and beyond your job, even though we don't pay you the way we need to pay you. It was more so, I need you to, you can go above and beyond, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it went from appreciation, like I said, to expectation. And I was miserable. I've been in relationships where, in the beginning, it's so fresh and new and young and light and airy, and you get the good morning beautiful text messages, you get the I miss yous and all that other stuff, and then they just stop. And you wonder why, like, am I doing something different, or maybe things are getting old? But the reason, I think that one of the reasons as to how some people fall out of love is that they stop doing the things that they did in the beginning. They stop they do what it takes to get the person, but they don't maintain the person. And I think that, you can't always be so surfaced, meaning you can't always just do the same things or say the same things and expect for things to just blossom. If you receive a good morning beautiful text message, let's say every day for like 3 months, you're used to it, it makes you feel good or whatever have you, and then all of a sudden it just stops. And then you notice that 2 or 3 months have gone down the line and you haven't gotten that good morning beautiful text. You start to dwindle a little bit. Or if you're used to, making your husband, wife, or whomever breakfast every morning, and then next thing you know, you get so consumed in life, you stop doing that. They start to dwindle. So I say this to say that, it's good to keep things fresh, current, and new in your life. And I think that, finding things that are attractive or beautiful things or things that you like in other people and expressing them is definitely a good way into doing that. And so again, say what's on your mind, be appreciative about it, with no ill will, pay a compliment, both surface and below the surface, because it's very important. Both of the two are very important. The second thing I like to talk about is being authentic and being true to thyself. In fact, whenever I close this show, I always say, if I could offer you anything else, and I'm going to say it again, is to be as authentic, live as authentic and as truthful as you can possibly be, because I genuinely do stand and believe in that. I have talked many a time about preserving your individuality, because we can sometimes get so consumed and caught up in life that, we throw ourselves into our jobs, we throw ourselves into our children, we throw ourselves into our relationships, we throw ourselves into our certain activities, that we start to lose our individuality. The I then becomes a we. And while that I into we is used in very positive scenarios in terms of relationships, I think that it's still important to remember that I. Preserving your individuality definitely means living authentically and living truthfully. There was a time that I remember I was afraid to say no, because I was afraid it was going to cause confrontation. Or, wait, that's a lie. I was never afraid of confrontation. I was afraid that it was going to upset someone, or I was afraid that I was going to let someone down. How many parties did I go to back in the day, knowing I was tired when I really didn't want to go, but just went because at the end of the day, I knew I was going to have a good time. I kind of had to force myself to go. How many times have I stayed in a relationship where I just knew it wasn't good, and, something had to smack my head against the pavement and make me realize that it wasn't good for me? So many times. Oh my gosh, so many times. Recently, I'm within this meditation with Oprah and Deepak Chopra, this 21-day meditation on time, and one of the days she used a quote from LeBron James that went, I'm paraphrasing, but that went when she asked him, so how is it that you stay in the zone and stay in the flow? Like, when you're in that zone and you're busting the shots and, you're scoring and, you're just in the zone. How do you stay in that? And he said to her something to the effect of, well, when I play for myself, I can stay in the zone and score and do what I need to do. However, when I start playing for other people, that's when I'm thrown off my game, and that's when I'm thrown out of the flow. And I thought that was just so powerful, because that just applies to life. It's like if we stop living for ourselves and we live for other people, then we lose our individuality, we stop being genuine, we stop being truthful, we stop being authentic, and we're so out of the zone that it's just becoming routine. We're just in autopilot. Instead of when we're living in our zone and we're living in the flow and we're living for us and we're doing things to please us, we can be more connected. That way we can give more, we can be more, we can do more. I think that people often get lost in the fact of, I always put others before myself. And they say, well, because it's better to give than receive. That's all those great sayings that encourage you not to be selfish. But I think selfish is just looked at in a negative term. It's looked at in a negative way. I was actually speaking at a podcast not too long ago, and one of the girls was like, she brought up an example, and she was like, well, that's a bit selfish. And she didn't mean it in a negative term. It's like, how you say that's a bit bluish. So when people say selfish, they think, oh my gosh, too full, they're cocky and conceited, and they're too full of themselves. When that shouldn't be looked about negatively. You have to be selfish in order to be selfless, in my opinion. I think that, when she was saying I'm going to be selfish, I was going to just take care of myself more. So selfish is described as what it is. And so I think that it's important for us to remember that it's okay to be selfish when you're full of yourself, so that you can give more and be selfless. And lastly, I'd like to talk about being open. Being open to receive whatever life is going to throw at you, and knowing that it's actually going to be okay. At the end of it all, it's going to be okay. All right. I have a friend who tells me all the time, it's just temporary. Whenever I'm going through something and I'm just She's like, you know, it's going to be okay. It's just temporary. I promise you it's temporary. I realized that you have to just be open to, you know, submit yourself and surrender to your process. We say it all the time, trust your process, trust your journey. But what does that truly and authentically look like? What does that mean to trust your process? What does it mean to just trust your journey? What does it mean? And I genuinely think that it means just to be open. Allow yourself to go through the motions. Allow yourself, be okay, and don't bombard yourself and don't beat up on yourself about if you want to cry or if you want to laugh, or if you want to just stay somewhere. You know, be open, you know, listen carefully. If it means listening to the sounds of your home, if it means going outside and just breathing and listening to what Mother Nature is trying to say to you, I promise you it sounds crazy as I don't know what, but literally just going outside and listening. And I'm not talking about to the car horns and all that other. I'm just talking, just listening to the wind. Mother Nature speaks to you. It's the most beautiful thing. And you're probably going to think I'm crazy. If I was you maybe 5-10 years ago, I would probably think I was crazy too. But if I'm not, I'm telling you, just listen to Mother Nature. You get answers. It's like you're being quiet. That's what meditation is all about, that inward time. That just sitting there and having that stillness and just being open and freeing yourself from emotions. I mean, I am one who is guilty of, if I start crying or if I start to feel bad or sad or emotional about something that I know I should be in the process of getting over, I just get so frustrated and mad with myself, like, ugh. And the way I was able to stop that emotional escapade from like spiraling downwards was literally just being open and allowing myself to be frustrated and allowing myself to be sad and allowing myself to be happy 1 second and frustrated the next, or in complete bliss for 3 hours, and then the next 2 hours just literally just sit there and go, what the heck is going on? Like, I literally looked at my life within a week's time, and it was like Monday I was like this, Tuesday I was like this, okay, Wednesday I picked up the pace, Thursday I started slowing back down, Friday I was finally kind of level. And I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world is going on? But I would like to offer you something that my friend told me. I was venting to her about how frustrated I was and how mad I was and how angry I was and how full of rage I was. And she was like, you know what? Anger is okay. Mad is okay. But don't stay there. She was like, it's okay to visit. Let anger and madness and rage and all of that come in. Let it visit. But don't let it stay. Visit it, but, you know, move on. Even if you got to visit it, move on and then go back. Visit it, move on, then go back. Helped me to visit it, move on, and then if I need to go back, I gotta go back, just because that's what being open is about. So be open, open to new people, open to new introductions, open to new possibilities, open to the fact that something that may have worked before just doesn't work anymore, open to the fact that maybe it just didn't work for that time and that it may work again. Open to the fact that, you know, the job that you're in, while it may be beautiful and blissful, it could end at any time. And guess what? You will be okay and you'll find bigger and better. I think that it definitely helps to always believe that no matter what you're going through, is going to be bigger and better. What's waiting for you on the other side of that openness that you're willing to give is something bigger, better, and greater. And that's what I would like to close out with tonight. So thank you so much again for tuning in. I really do appreciate you all more than you'll ever, ever, ever know. I'm going to say it again, even though I mentioned, if I could offer you one last thing, it is always to live authentically, truthfully, and on purpose. Be the best you that you can be, because there is no one else like you. There will never be anyone like you. You are so beautiful. You are so loving. You are so warming. You are so intelligent. You are so worth it. You are worth every positive thing that life has to offer you. And you can only obtain that by living authentically, by living truthfully, by living in your truth, and by living in your purpose. Until next time, I urge you to live in love, live in peace, live in harmony, live in yourself, live in your authenticity, and live in your genuine. Peace, light, and love. You didn't think I was going to let you go without asking you to subscribe again, right? So if you have not done so already, please do me a favor and subscribe to the ISR I Serve Realness channel. Like, comment, and share if you would. It would really, 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 really do me a great service. And why not allow me to serve you realness, right? So don't forget, like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel. There I go laughing again. Love you.